Cool, I think we are live. Testing, testing. Alright, cool. The mic works. Hello, Fuffina.
Okay. Okay, wait. Okay, just making sure. Can everyone hear me and can everyone see this? Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So I guess we could just wait for a few more people. I don't know if we want maybe some music in here. I could add some, I think. And yeah, we're all set. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. I prepared a slideshow for you. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it in video form, but honestly, I think this worked out even better because I can allow you to speak, and it'll just be a fun time. So yeah, hope everyone's ready. Awesome. It's working on YouTube too. And I think Atmosphere is going to be handling the stage mechanic, or like inviting people to the stage,
That will be what I'm
which
doing.
should be working out. If you want to say anything, I'll probably only like invite you or accept you if I recognize your username, but I recognize pretty much everyone's username here, so it's fine. We
Or
just want
should
to make
we,
sure
or
some like
maybe
random
something we
person
should
doesn't
do
join and
is
say
keep it to
something. You know what I
people
mean?
who are receiving
So yeah,
nominations.
awesome.
Hey, can you hear me, Fuffina?
Give me 2 more years. Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me.
No, I can't
Wait,
hear Atmosphere. Wait, is Atmosphere
can
speaking?
you hear me now?
Wait, hold on. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Great. Uh,
I'm sorry, I had my audio output in the wrong thing. Okay.
I was gonna ask you if you just wanted to invite people if they receive nominations or if they want to
Oh wait, I
like.
could invite people.
I don't know if you can, but you can tell me who to invite, and I'll invite them
Okay.
to speak.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't want to have it be too many people speaking at once, though.
Yeah, I'd prefer just like one person on the stage at a time, or like two people if they made a track together, or you know,
Yeah.
probably two maximum.
The Great Apple War gets nominated. Oh God.
Oh no. Well, luckily I can't because it wasn't made for a CT Jam.
I wish.
Imagine. Yeah, that's how the stage works. Okay, nice. And everyone could see my presentation, right? You can see the jammies. Awesome. You can see a frame of the video. Well, actually, I changed it. It's not even a video anymore. It's a Canva presentation, but I made it almost like a video. It has animations in it, so it's just in a way so it's like a controlled video. So I do hope you guys enjoy. Oh, I'm clicking on the timeline? Wait, really? Interesting. He says I'm not. Oh, well, if the toes are on a track, it's not actually spoiling. It's just kind of like, that's what I'm doing for the intermission. You'll see in a bit. So it actually doesn't really spoil anything if you saw that. Oh, me hovering on the timeline. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'll make sure not to do that. Wait, did we ping? Oh, no, not yet. Should I ping here, I guess, in announcements? Okay, I think Carry On's doing it nice. It spoiled the entire results? Actually? Okay, yeah, maybe it was a joke. Unless just Shorky saw it. If so, that's fine too. Oh, okay, not actually. Alright, I think Carry On might be pinging. And then I'd say like at 20 people we start, maybe? I'm not sure. I have time, so whenever, it's fine. Grab your PJs because we're hosting the Jammies. I love that. You have enough to start? Okay. Actually, just because Carry On pinged, maybe we'll wait like 2 minutes. Because now probably some more people are going to join. We already got one more. You should try doing CT jams. They're fun. They're really fun. And I'm saying this having not participated since like 6 jams ago. But trust me, they're really fun. Okay. Okay, I think, yep, we're at 20. Alright, guys. Because we're ready to start the Jammies 2023. Oh, okay, okay, we'll wait then. Okay.
Oh wait, never mind. I just had my mic muted on OBS. Okay.
Oh,
Hey YouTube,
okay.
hey YouTube viewers, can you guys hear Fuffina and me now? YouTube is good. All right. Cool.
Awesome. I wish I could check the YouTube viewers, but I already have enough tabs open. But I hope you guys are enjoying it. I really
Well, I
hope you are.
think we are ready to start.
Awesome. Okay. Well, welcome, jammers, jam enthusiasts. We're here to celebrate the culmination of 2023. We are 5 months late, but it's okay. It's finally happening. And yeah, here's the Jammies 2023. And we do have 2 special guest hosts throughout our ceremony. First up, we have these 2 toads, which we could just call Red and Blue. They don't really have names, but they're the hosts guiding us through, and they always explore like different locations to see what the jams bring. So here they are at Full Moon Facility by Atmosphere,
Woo.
which is an awesome track.
Thank you.
You could hear Atmosphere very happy. And it's set on the moon, which is very creative because it's a factory on the moon. And that's just the beauty of CT Gems, because the different themes in CT Gems allow us to create gems in different, or create tracks in different environments that have never really been seen before in the common like vanilla Mario Kart games. So this brings us to our first award, which is the beauty of CT Jams and the best jams of 2023. So without further ado, let's just get into the results of the best jam of 2023. All right, coming in at number 5, which got 17 points from the viewers and from the voters, is the Magic and Cave Jam, which brought a ton of great tracks that you probably all know. And it was just a great jam. Nothing really like, I guess, mind blowing at the time, but as we look back, we just remembered kind of how good the quality overall was. Like the top 5 or 6, I remember were just all like above 8 out of 10. This one was really, really good. And by the way, we're gonna invite people on the stage in the Discord call at the end of each award after we announce the winner, just so people can talk about their opinions. All right, coming in at number 4 with 21 points is the Pasta Jam, which is kind of surprising because at the time this was like the jam that everyone was talking about. Jam 52, I think it was. No. Yeah, Jam 52. Being pasta was like something that was prophesized for such a long time, and the fact that we got 20 submissions from this just makes it a jam that had to be in the top 5. I mean, I feel like nobody's gonna argue with this. Also, I probably should have put a food warning. Sorry about that. Anyways, coming in at number 3 with 25 points is the Nightmare Jam, which was the last jam of 2023. This one, its top 4 were all just of really high quality, and everyone this jam, and also the fact that it was duos really helped a lot, because everyone this jam had a partner, and they were able to make like insane masterpieces. The winner was insane, Forsaken Funfair by Shorky and Chouch and Tosh. I feel like everyone can agree on that, and it was the highest scoring winner of all time to this date, I still think, and it was just really, really good. So great jam overall. Coming in at number 2 with 27 points is the Storm Jam. This jam was kind of in the middle of the year, so you wouldn't think it would be anything too remarkable. Also, it was a solo jam, but just the submissions blew us all away. The top 4 were all just extremely good. The fact that the thumbnail track, which is insane looking, would have placed like top 2 in most other jams, it only came 4th. I mean, that's just insane. Really amazing jam overall, and I think we should all agree with these placements. However, the winner, the best jam of the year of 2023, which had kind of a landslide victory, 42 points, is Fire and Ice Jam, which I feel like everyone can agree about. The top 3 are all in CTGP, or were in CTGP at one point. Actually, no, they're all accepted into CTGP. For a good reason, because this jam, the quality was amazing. It was duos, which helped a lot, 7 days. And it was just such an iconic jam. And most people agree that this is probably one of the best that we've ever seen, if not the best. All right, so if anyone wants to join the stage to talk about the winner, preferably someone who participated in the Fire and Ice Jam, feel free to join. I think Atmosphere will allow you to join the stage if you want to talk about it. So yeah.
If anyone wants to make any requests, I'm not sure how this stage feature works completely.
I think you're able to raise your hand, right?
Yes.
I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's invite Epic Crossover onto the stage first.
All right.
How do
Welcome, Epic Crossover.
Wait a minute. He's not on here yet. How do I do
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go. Invite to speak. It was right there. Welcome, Epic
All
Crossover,
right.
to the stage.
Welcome, Epic Crossover.
Hello there, everybody. How's it going?
Pretty good. So what would you like to share about the Fire and Ice Jam, or just any of the jams in general this past year?
Well, I was going to speak mainly on the Fire and Ice Jam because it was like the first one I ever competed for CT Jam, so it's kind of like the first like true track I tried to like do. But it was like one of my worst creations, I believe, to this day was the track that I created because the textures were like 800 by 800. So to those who had a problem with Burning Freezeway, I am sorry, but let's not take that away from the actual jam itself because Fire and Ice was really good. Like it had some great tracks, like from Fuffina. We had Fendrana Frostbite, which is what I would say is probably one of the better CT Jam tracks ever. Like at least for absolute certain, I would say.
Thank you very much.
And then we also have no problem. We also had Wario's Climate Cataclysm. I'm pretty sure that was I think it was Yoshi, I believe. Who made that? I'm
Yoshi
not
and
sure.
Shorky.
Someone can fact check. Oh yeah, and Shorky, yeah. I can't really forget Shorty, but still, but it was still like that. It's like those tracks. Those like stood in my mind as well, and also a few others. Like even the ones that didn't do so high. I think shout out Potato Man for like the icy Speedway, I believe, something like that.
Oh, the icy spicy, the ice spice one. I'm sorry, that's the only way I
Yes.
remembered it. I'm so sorry, Potato.
And of course, I don't think
Nah,
you can
but
forget Fiery Factory Fading Frost, which
Oh, of
might
course.
be
yeah.
one of the best second placing tracks in all CT Jams, and one of the most well-known tracks of 2023.
I agree.
I,
Well, yeah, it was
I
great to
agree.
hear from someone whose like first track was in this jam. Like that's awesome. Thank you so much for speaking.
Yeah, and shout out Frigid Furnace Atmosphere. Nice track.
Yo,
Ooh,
thanks.
true. All right, thank you. Thank you very
Next
much,
up,
Epic Crossover.
we are inviting Cottony to speak, who co-created the second placing track, Fiery Factory Fading Frost.
Awesome. Welcome, Cottony.
Greetings. Yeah, I'll try to focus more on like the jam and the circumstances than on the track Tarson and I made for now. This was a really, really rewarding experience for me to do. It's kind of crazy of me that I haven't really done another jam that seriously since when was this, before or after Pasta? I don't even remember. It was after, right?
It was after.
Yeah, so I haven't done jam at all since then, which is a crime of me. But yeah, just being able to get all of my university work done in advance to clear out my entire schedule and focus basically every minute possible, working on the track, polishing it up, giving myself as much time, because I knew like going into it that I'd want to take on a lot of the like the basic gameplay design work, just prototyping out the track, but also I tend to be slow on that, and it can be a little agonizing to get over like creative block in that stage for me. So I was glad to just be able to not worry about anything else and just focus all of my productivity, concentrate it all. And
Yeah, that's great.
Like it's such a nice opportunity to be so productive with such clear motivation. And also, and another thing about Fire and Ice, the theme itself was, like, of course, that's beyond who's participating in the quality of tracks they make, the one thing you can look at is the theme. And Tarson and I weren't actually that sure about Fire and Ice. I think we both kind of immediately agreed when we saw it on the theme poll at first that it tends to result in like, oh, there's the sort of Grumble Volcano-ish section and the Sherbet Land section, and there's like a clear risk with that sort of theme that people might not go like much farther than that. So it ends up creating some like, because it's been done before in plenty of other tracks too. I think like Melting Magma Melee and such. So it immediately looks like a generic theme, but we immediately switched to voting for it when I just thought, hey, what are some interesting ways Fire and Ice could integrate with each other? How might they do that in real life? And well, fire might come from an artificial source rather than a natural one, and it would melt the ice, and then you get to like pollution and climate change and whatnot. And that's when we put some of our stocks into that theme, especially when like the other themes we were looking at lost the first stage. There was like a 3-way tie for themes in this one.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I remember.
That was pretty crazy. So yeah, the other ones we were looking at got eliminated in the first stage, and then it was just all Fire and Ice, and then it's kind of crazy to think about how that's the process that led to like I'll tell you a timeline split. Imagine a completely different selection of crazy tracks you could have gotten if it was something else, but
Yeah,
all down to like the precise voting there. So yeah, this jam was a lot of fun.
yeah, definitely. I think also the Fire and Ice theme like allowed for such like creativity because like yeah, you could just theme around your track around fire and ice, but it doesn't have to be a specific like thing. So yeah, we did get a lot of factory tracks for some reason. I don't know how that happened.
I mean, it
but
makes
we also
sense,
got
though.
like a lot of true. We also got
Like, there's
a lot of
logic
like
to it that I found.
yeah, because it's like a burning factory, yeah, climate change. There were a lot of two tracks. Two of the top 3 tracks were kind of about factories. Then 2 of them were about climate change or climates, which is kind of funny. But yeah, there's definitely some great variety in there too, which is awesome. So yeah, thank you so much for speaking.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Would anybody else
Okay.
like to request to speak on this jam?
If not, it's okay. We have a lot of awards to still go through.
Yeah, no worries if no one else. I mean, I'll say something. This jam was pretty
Oh,
fun
yeah,
for
for sure.
me because I participated with someone who actually never worked on any track, and I did not know the person who I was participating with, but they were very cool, and although didn't add to the model or anything, they really helped out with a lot of the technical work and just giving me pointers on ways to make the track fun and engaging. And yeah, it is Nosley. Nosley, shout out to them because they made that track pretty awesome and probably helped it sneak into the top 5.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, that's what I feel like. Just experimenting with jams, like with people you never even like talked to before, like in the community. It just like it can pay off so much, and clearly it did with your track. It was really good. So yeah, that's kind of another beauty of CT jams, and that's why we're holding this celebration. So yeah, I think we're wrapping up the Jam Awards, this first award. So yeah, if we want to move on, I think we can. Nobody else wants to speak? All right.
All right.
So, where are Toads up to now? Never mind. They're nowhere, because I forgot to include them. But it's okay, because now we're moving on to another form of kind of a competition in custom tracks inner servers, which is the CT Jelly. This was introduced in 2022, I believe. Yes, it was. And it's just kind of, it's a CT jam, but it usually has an extended timeline and also a big twist. Something that completely changes like the format of CT jams, not just like something that's just like, oh, you can remake a track. No. We've seen cup jellies, which is making 4 tracks. We've seen having to make the most controversial course. We've also seen adding like 10 split paths because you have 10 people working on a track. So CT jellies can get very chaotic, and that's why I love them. And now we're here to celebrate them with the best CT jelly of 2023. Now we must start with 2 honorable mentions because there were actually only 3 CT jellies that occurred in 2023. So, coming in at number 3 is Split the Friend Room, which kind of makes sense because the whole theme or the whole gimmick of this jam was to create something that was really controversial and had the highest standard deviation, which is the difference in scores. So, for example, if a track got a lot of 10s and a lot of 1s, it would likely place very high in this in the results. So yeah, it kind of makes sense, but we did get a lot of like bangers. For example, Controversy Castle by Burge and Mickey Man was one of the best exploration tracks of the year, and it was so creative. There's not many tracks like it because it was straight up like a, what's it called, like an RPG game, with the fact that you had to progress through different obstacles, all through the use of custom objects. Like, who would have thought this would have been a thing in 2008? It's honestly insane. So this jam, or this jelly overall, was good, but it does make sense why it unfortunately came 3rd, because all the tracks had to be controversial. So, in number 2 is the City Style tracks, which had arguably one of the most interesting jelly submissions of all time, which was Blissful Block by Strobens, Chelchentoss, and Mickey Man. The whole gimmick of this jelly was to create tracks that have changing laps every like time you cross the finish line, like in Mario Kart Tour with the city tracks.
Oh, it's
And this
Pacific
led to a
Point,
lot of
Fuffina. It was,
What?
Blissful Block is the track that Strobens
Oh,
made. Pacific
right.
Point is the track.
right. I'm sorry.
No
Pacific
worries.
Point. It's similar. Yeah, Pacific Point. But this whole jelly was very creative because we got tracks that were completely different once you cross the finish line, which led to some insane designs that we've really never seen in the Mario Kart modding community. And Pacific Point was a prime example of that. And all the tracks submitted in this jelly, because they all followed that gimmick, and they were all done really well. So I'm happy this came 2nd. However, there can only be one winning jelly, and that is the Booster Course Pass, which also probably has one of the best thumbnails on the Custom Track Jams YouTube channel. Yoshi made it, I believe, and it's so well done. But the tracks themselves, I mean, come on, it's kind of a given that this jelly would win, considering that each team had to make 4 tracks, and there ended up being like, I think it was over 25 tracks submitted. So it was an amazing loaded jelly with great quality as well. So yeah, that's the awards for the CT jelly. If anyone wants to come up and speak, feel free to do so.
I saw
If you
Carry On say
participate in one of
something
these,
in the chat, so I think I'll invite him because he said
okay.
he was raising his hand. All right. Howdy, Carry On.
Hello.
Hello. What would you like to say?
I'd like to say that this jelly was extremely cool.
Awesome. I agree.
Honestly, no, this was one of the first ideas for a jelly once we were coming up with the concept back in 2022. But I just wanted to talk about just how different it was to, instead of focusing on one track, focusing on making 4, because instead of the usual, okay, I gotta make everything perfect, it was, all right, I gotta somehow put together 4 tracks, and they also all have to be perfect because you gotta be as ambitious as possible.
Yep. It was definitely like, it definitely put people to their limits. As someone who was going to submit to this jelly, but unfortunately our team ran out of time, we recognized how like ambitious this jelly was, but I think it really paid off. I mean, the tracks were amazing, and the fact that the winner was Lucio with a solo submission was also just one of the best results moments ever in CT Jams. I swear, it was amazing.
Yeah, he
So,
needs
yeah.
to get up here, but
Yeah,
making 4 tracks on for which ended up being better than everyone else's 4 tracks with 3 people is is actually crazy.
That is very impressive.
I do want to actually talk about, not to speak for him, but I realized during that jam that making 4 consistently like good tracks actually like boosted the scores of the lower ones, because like, at least from my perspective, like some of he had like 2 amazing tracks and then 2 good tracks with those, but because they were all of similar kind of quality and style, the amazing tracks made the good tracks look better. So instead of giving him like a 5 or a 6, you give him a 7 or a 6 and stuff like that, and those actually like boosted his score because of that like continuity, almost that similarity between all the tracks.
yeah, that's true. They all used I think the same textures too, which made them all feel like they were kind of in the same world. I think that's something that made Lucio win as well, because all of them felt like interconnected in a way, which was awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, before going down though.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. You can continue.
Before going down, I have to one, I gotta shout out my team, which was the Pokemon team, which had BlazeOK's only CT Jam submission. So I liked being able to grab him for that. But I also, just personally, I liked making making a good version of my like Umbreon shitpost tracks. It was so funny. I think it was Rex who suggested I do it when we were just like thinking of themes to do. So I was on board as soon as they mentioned that. So
yeah, Umbreon's roller coaster was actually really good. Like surprisingly, for what seemed like it would be a joke track, it was really good.
I'm pretty sure I bothered you about light maps during it. So
it's okay. Don't worry. I'm here to help. But yeah, thank you so much for speaking.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So does that wrap it up for the jellies?
I believe Blue Bat Star and Kozakura both want to speak as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll let them on. Hello, Blue Bat Star.
Hello there.
Hello. What would you like to say?
Can I speak now?
Yeah, feel free.
Say, the Booster Pass Jelly was actually my first ever jam. It was like first ever CT competition. Yeah, we got last. My team got last, but it was still a fun experience and like first of a kind for me. I just was not expecting to have to do 4 tracks. Like, one thing I like about like the CT jellies is like the way like the twist just forced tracks that just would not exist otherwise. Like all 4 of Lucio's tracks, I don't think would exist if he didn't have to make 4 in a set theme. And like as a whole, I think that the wildly different themes everyone chose just made the jam so interesting to play afterwards.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Thematically, there are some really good ones. Like, this one kind of got robbed because one of its tracks didn't function when it like the jelly was actually happening. I think it's been fixed now, but the Ascension Cup's theme is like really clever. Of how it like starts up underground and you go up to space. It's really cool.
Thank you very
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, I don't know. I just love how jellies have just the themes that were just cool tracks that have that would not exist otherwise exist. Plus,
That's
I also
true.
appreciate the city track styled jelly just because I like those style of tracks a lot. So it was great to see like people's takes on them. And even though the turnout of that one was lower than it has been in for like other jellies, I still absolutely love it happens, and I love the tracks that came out of it.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
I agree. I think jellies, like that's the spirit of jellies. You create such unique
Yeah.
track ideas. Yeah, it's just awesome.
Yeah. Also,
I
Pacific
wish I
Point is
would've
one of my
known
favorite
today.
CTs of all time, so I've got that to thank for it.
Oh, that's true. Pacific Point
Yeah.
is amazing. I'm so sorry for calling it Blissful Block to everyone. They
I mean,
look
that's
similar.
another
It's my
amazing
mistake.
track.
It is. It is. Both are amazing. Strobin's tracks.
Yeah.
Very similar.
And obviously,
I don't blame you.
Toch and Tosh and Mickey Man with
Yeah.
Pacific Point did an amazing job too.
Yes.
So yeah,
But
thank you
yeah,
so much for that story.
thank you very much for letting me speak.
No problem.
All right, and lastly, Kozakura would like to speak.
Welcome, Kozakura.
Hello, Mario.
What would you like to say?
Anyways, okay. Yeah, I do actually want to speak on this because this was a fun experience, honestly. Yes, I know my name is Man in the server, but
It's okay.
yeah, like this is a fun experience. Like, even though my team didn't finish on time, spoiler alert, me and Fuffina were on the same team.
Yep, we were.
It was honestly pretty fun trying to work on a track for this and working on like an entire cup. Like, and I actually did finish my solo track that I made for it since then. And it's called Flying High, if anyone's curious.
Yep, it's a great track. It's a really good one.
Thank you. Yeah, and I really like the concepts that you and Bear came up with as well. And I would love to see you both finish those. And I would also love to see the last Ascension Cup track finished because, like, we have 3 out of 4 of them on the wiki, and like they're all great tracks. And I think like if Lake Lakitu had more work put into it, I think like it could be like, you know, like one of the strongest collections of tracks on the wiki.
That's true. I agree. No, those tracks are amazing. Yeah.
And I also had a concept for the city style tracks. I was working with the gaming Bram, and unfortunately, we never got our concept together. But like, yeah, you gaming Bram. It was like we basically wanted to make like a track that was like a mountain cave thing, like that, like is basically like a nature themed track, and we didn't finish it. Like I think we both had some things going on, but like
Oh, yeah, no, I hope to see it finished though. Sounds
Yeah.
really cool.
I like the idea of that sort of jelly, and honestly, like if we ever end up reusing like the city style tracks idea, like I don't know if it will be reused, but I wouldn't be opposed to it being reused.
I think it would
Yeah,
be cool in the
yeah, I'm
future.
down
Yeah.
to finish it if you want to. I have a lot of stuff going on. Like my college term is getting near the end, but like, you know, yeah. Overall, I really like the fun and creativity of jellies. I wish I participated in more of them, honestly, but like, you know, life happens. And,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
and I'm always looking forward to seeing what ideas come up in the future. Like I genuinely hope I can participate in more jellies in the future and make some unique creations that
Yep.
are different than what I'd usually make.
Yeah, no, I agree. I hope to see you participate more. Thank you so much for speaking, Kozakura. It was nice to hear you.
Thanks for letting me speak. And yeah, I'm going to leave the stage now.
All right, thank you so much.
And
All right,
I think
guys,
that's the
so
last person
time
who
to-
wanted to speak on this.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So we're going on to the next award. If you see there's kind of a theme here, we're doing all the competitions first, and we're going to get into track-specific awards. So we're obviously doing the best Turbo Jam of 2023. I'm pretty sure you all know what Turbo Jams are, but pretty much they're CT Jams, but with more bizarre themes and only 4 or 3 to 5 hours usually to create the track. So let's get into the best Turbo Jams. There were roughly, I think, 8 or 9 this year, but we only have 3, 2 honorable mentions, and the winner. So first, let's get into the honorable mentions. Coming in at number 3 is the Koopa Troopa and Wii Wheel Jam, or Turbo Jam. This one of the most memorable moments of this jam was the fact that Cats for Life made the thumbnail track in, I think, only an hour, and it came first, tied, which is really impressive. I've never really seen anything like that, where someone made a track in such a short amount of time and it won. And this whole jam, or this whole Turbo Jam, had definitely like a superior quality to most of the others, and there's good reason why it came third. So coming in at number 2 is the Texas Turbo Jam. This one had a lot of big names participate and a lot of new creators as well, which is a reason to why the quality was so amazing. Like 4th place could have won like any other Turbo Jam, I swear. It was really good. So great job to everyone who participated in Texas Turbo Jam. However, there could only be one winner. And remember when I said that the Booster Course Pass might have the best thumbnail? Well, maybe I lied because this one might have an even better one. It's the Tarsa Turbo Jam. Coming in at number 1. This Turbo Jam was meant to be like a joke, but the tracks were surprisingly like amazing for Turbo Jam standards. I believe Atmosphere made the winning track, or was it the 2nd place track, or one of them? I remember that one.
Track that won in the votes, but due to the gimmick, it came.
That's
second.
true.
The gimmick was
that that's true.
Guess your tracks own a score, and I guessed too modestly, and my first place turned into 2nd place. But it's all fine because Tarsa was the one who ended up winning, and I think that's very fitting that Tarsa would
That's true.
win their own Turbo Jam.
Tarsa ending up winning was so fitting. It was amazing. That's why I was confused about whether you placed 1st or 2nd. That makes sense why I was confused. All right. So if anyone wants to speak about Turbo Jams or the Tarsa Turbo Jam or just any of the top 3, feel free to come up. We will have to make this a bit quicker. Oh no, I just spoiled everything. Okay, we're fine, right?
I don't think anyone saw that.
Whoops.
All right, let's
Okay.
see. Tarsa's coming up here.
Yeah, I can just
Alright.
reveal. Okay, I'll get into the story because I can. Sorry, I know you want it to be quicker.
Yeah, no worries.
When I joined CT Jams, the server back in like early 2022, that wasn't like the first I knew of CT Jams. Like I've been watching the videos for like at least a year prior, and I remember when a certain other Turbo Jam popped up on my screen, I was like, "What the hell? What the heck is a David Jam? And why did they run out of ideas so quickly?" And now when I reach out to Mickey Man, because the previous jam was like just random themes that involved Bird and Karen, I'm like, okay, Mickey Man's going to do the same thing. Tarsa, as one of like the 50 million themes, isn't going to stand out. And then it did, and I felt like so bad. But at the same time, I am very honored that not only did Mickey Man say yes, but also that y'all voted, and especially that y'all made tracks. That was very surprising to have happen. Every track submitted to this jam is amazing and special in its own way. And I would like to thank everyone who participated and Mickey Man for hosting. That is all. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you very much. I can't imagine how honorable that would be to have a jam after you. And it must be like the fact that it won Turbo Jam of the Year, especially. It really like means a lot, and I bet it does. So yeah, thank you so much.
Turbo Jam tomorrow.
We
Big
are
it
having a
up.
Turbo
Bye.
Jam tomorrow. All right, and I'm going to invite Elemental to speak, as it looks like he would like to.
All right.
Whenever you're ready, Elemental, if you want to come up to the stage, I've invited you to speak.
If not, it's okay because we still have a lot of awards, so I'm sure Elemental will have a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, no worries if not.
Yeah, he might be gone. Okay, we might have to move on then.
All right, we will move on.
All right. So we're going to be getting into the track-specific awards now. We focus on the competitions first, but oh wait, the Toads have something to say again, and they're in Propeller Paradise by Mickey Man. Definitely a beautiful track, and it won the Floating Island Sham for a reason, and I think partially it was because the scenery in this track is immaculate. You see, there's propeller statues, all the shrubbery, and even like the small details, like the grass overhanging, really makes Mickey Man's style like recognizable instantly. And the visuals on this track are amazing, which brings us to our next award, which is the best visuals of 2023 in a custom track or in a jam track. So we have 2 honorable mentions, and then we have the winner. For our first honorable mention, coming in at third, we actually have Phendrana Frostbite by ISE and I. It's kind of difficult to speak on this track considering that I made it, but I just feel so honored. Thank you guys. This track was definitely really fun to make with ISE. We shared a lot of ideas, and yeah, the light map I remember did take a lot of time to bake, but I guess the end result was worth it. And thank you guys for all the support on this track.
Very great track.
Coming in at number 2 is Scrumptious Serving by Strobens. Sorry, food warning. I probably should have said that again, but I kind of forgot. But yeah, this track, the detail, like the realism, this might be one of the most realistic looking custom tracks ever created. The layout is also really creative, but we're focusing on the visuals. And yeah, the detail is amazing. The skybox is really creative with that synthwave style, and Strobens, like always, does a great job on visuals, so congratulations. However, there can only be one winner, and this is, once again, kind of hard to explain, because it's, once again, Thunder City, The World That Never Was, which is created by me. So thank you guys very much. I feel very honored. This track did take a lot of time and effort to make. I'm glad that it paid off, and yeah, thank you so much.
Your visuals rock, man.
Thank you. It's so hard to announce your own winner. Like, I don't know what to say, really. If anyone wants to go on the stage, I guess, and talk about like visuals and custom tracks, feel free to.
All right. If anyone wants to make a request to speak, maybe someone who isn't Fuffina, because he won 2 of these nominations for this, which makes sense very much. And this track had, like, I think it has, like, one of the top scores overall, and, like, for a very good reason, because...
Yeah, thank you very much.
It looks great, man.
Yeah, I did experiment with a lot of styles here. A lot of the textures are from Kingdom Hearts, which I highly recommend. And, like, the part of Kingdom Hearts I use most of them from is actually called The World That Never Was, which did inspire the name, of course. And yeah, I'm really happy with the textures, and I'm glad that people loved it.
Spirex.
So, should we move on?
Spirex is currently requesting to speak and then revoking his request. I am not sure if he wants to speak.
Ooh, okay.
I will invite him, just because it seems
okay.
of interest.
Yeah, sure, of course.
There is a button that I think he might have to press. All right. I do not think he wants to, because it looks like he denied it. So we can move on.
Okay. All right, we're moving on then.
Oh, wait, wait, no.
Oh.
Carry On wants to come on, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, just wanted to quickly
Hello,
point
Carry
out
On.
something, because like jams have been going on since 2020, right?
Yep.
And remind me, Storm Jam, that was 4 days, right? Or was it 7?
It was 4 days, yes.
That's absolutely wild. Because okay,
thank you.
I joined in the before times of Jam 15, which even then that was 7 months after we started, or about then. And yeah, there were good tracks. Like there were tracks that had great visuals and all. But like it was crazy when some, like we had Coin Heaven in Jam 3. That was like the by far most visually pleasing one, and then there was the Zachi tracks in like season 3.
Oh yeah, they were beautiful.
And then there's this like every other jam now. Like it's absolutely crazy just how talented people have gotten at this.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, and then of course Fuffina, this not to keep bringing it up, this is, you went crazy here, man. That
no, thank you, but I do agree that there's so many talented creators right now that also did deserve this award. Like especially like to name a few, or not to name a few, like everyone has great visuals. I don't need to name specific people because the amount of effort that's put into some of them is just amazing. Even without light maps, you don't need a light map to have good visuals. I've seen beautiful tracks without a light map. Trust me.
Yeah, I want
If
to
you-
shout out to D Turnup who made an entirely hand drawn course that one time.
That's true. That one was amazing. Oh, wait, was that D Turnip or was that
I think-
Prelit?
Oh, one of the two. Sorry, it might have been
Okay.
Prelit.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think it was for the art jam. Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
good though.
All right, just want to say that.
Before we move
All
on,
right, thank you so
ATG
much.
also requested to speak, so I am inviting him to the stage.
All right. Welcome, ATG.
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to speak on this jam a little bit because I thought, like, I personally had a blast, like, participating and playing in this one. Like, like, even the last two tracks, like Oklahoma with the tornado cannon and that one Geometry Dash track that was just, like, half pipes all over.
Oh
And
yeah.
then, of course, the track on the picture right now that I can't remember the name of, but, I remember being stunned by that skybox. Like, that was a beautiful skybox. And
Thank you. Thank you
actually,
very much.
Storm Aspires, which is one of my worst tracks in my opinion, which I always justify with, this was actually my first Blender jam track, and really first Blender track overall. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so this is where the jam where I finally said goodbye to SketchUp. But this whole jam was actually just like such a great memory for me. So to
Yeah,
see this
it
track
was.
winning this award is just really cool to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for speaking.
All right, how do I get out of here?
And we'll move you back to the audience. ATG, thank you for speaking.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right. So that's all the speakers, right?
Yes.
All right. We're moving on. Let's see what our toes are up to. Well, let's see. Oh, they're in Mystical Mushroom Mine by Shorky. Really beautiful track, but you know what Shorky's also known for? The gameplay. Shorky's gameplay is always very has a ton of variety. He always like incorporates a lot of boost panels, half pipes, and a lot of different levels of terrain to make his tracks very diverse and enjoyable. And that's what the point of gameplay is in CT Jams. And it's just so impressive the fact that people can make tracks that just flow so smoothly in such a short amount of time, which leads us to our next award, the best gameplay of 2023. So, like always, we have 2 honorable mentions and a winner. Our first honorable mention is Antarctic Ambush by Mickey Man. This track is really creative. The fact that not only does it have a cool visual style, because that's not really the point here, but the gameplay is like very unique. Like you see the icebergs that are different in size and shape than the regular road. It creates variety. Even inside the gingerbread house, I believe there's split paths. And just the whole track, the custom objects included too, are like at the quality of Nintendo's. They're amazing. So thank you very much. Yeah, great job, ATG. Or sorry, not ATG, Mickey Man. Great job. The next honorable mention, coming in at number 2, is RMX Nightmare by GeForce and Slime Server. This course was for the Nightmare Jam, and it was actually voted 3rd, probably in large part due to its insanely creative gameplay. It used a variety of like widths of road, different levels of terrain, and just the boost panels. The flow of everything was magnificent. If a comp player was speaking right now, they would probably have a lot more to say than me. But yeah, maybe a comp player will come in and speak about the gameplay. But great job, GeForce and Slime Server. However, the winner of the best gameplay of 2023 in a CD Jam track is Fiery Factory Fading Frost by Kanye and Tarsa. I mean, come on, there's a reason why this was accepted to CTGP so quickly. The amount of shortcuts here and the amount of like objects, custom objects, like the igloos. Who would even think of following igloos? As Connie said earlier, like this whole track is just the amount of components in here to deliver on the gameplay is just magnificent. And I believe it is definitely a deserving winner. So, if anyone would want to speak about the gameplay on these tracks, feel free to join the stage.
Alright, we got Elemental Domino. Make sure to click the button, Elemental. There we go.
Hey, Elemental.
Oh, for real this time.
Yippee.
Sorry about that. I do really want to speak about Turbo Jams, but of course, it's with any game really. The best part about it is playing it. Of course, that's the point of a game. Visuals are important as well because even if track is really fun to play, you can't really like have like textures that hurt the eyes. That's gonna be a problem. But of course it's a two-way street, and I have always held gameplay in a much greater regard than visuals, because I mean you don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of the prime examples was Log Breeze by Rex in one of the recent jams. That track had such good gameplay.
Yep, and I feel like it was like experimental as well.
Hmm.
And
I agree.
you
I think
know,
experimental tracks are definitely the ones that succeeded in the voting too. You know, if you have like a kind of flat track with just a few turns, it didn't really get as high in the gameplay as like something that's more experimental.
but yeah, in the depths of the wiki, I found a lot of tracks that don't look that great but are really fun to drive, and it's sad that people don't look over those tracks because they're great. They just don't look that interesting, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
Is
I
it-
completely agree. Sorry, I was coughing a bit. That's why I muted for a bit. But yeah, thank you so much, Elemento, for speaking.
welcome.
All right, I think Cottony wants to speak next.
All right.
They have been invited to the stage.
1 second, I'm just gonna get a drink of water.
Hello, Cottony again.
Hey guys, I just want to wish you all a happy new year. Discord is full of copy-pasted new year messages that people don't even read and just forward to other servers. I don't like that. This is a dumb joke. You're the best curling team I've ever played with. So
I completely agree with what you
Yeah.
just said, by the way.
I'd like to think in regards to gameplay, it's a little tough for me to just look at a blank canvas and try to come up with, oh, we could have a turn here that'll play like this. I tend to have a certain logical flow-ish to how I design a track. So if I have a base concept like, okay, factory, we have like two defined sections already from our base concept, which there's a factory and there's an outdoor section. And then within the factory, what would we have? Well, maybe like a warehouse, a production line, a sweatshop area. And then I'll look more in detail and be like, okay, what's in the warehouse? That should be a wider open section. But in a wider open section, why would you not just take the fastest line? And so a pretty easy way to solve that would be, okay, there's a main route and then a shroomless and then a shroom cut. And those would all take up the whole width, and then I can elaborate on that as I did in the track. So you have on the left the main route, and then there's a shroomless that is also integrated with the shroom cut. There's a little zone there's a safety net route for if you failed from the shroomless. So
Oh yeah, yep.
generally, and then of course the production line, well, you'd be it's sort of object spammy in how it ended up, but at least the idea there is it would.
No, yeah,
Back
it's
to the
definitely
theme,
really
maybe I'm
interesting.
concerned that if the theme doesn't have enough, if I'm not having enough fire in the track yet, this is a good place to throw fire objects, and then that's also like the fire that's sort of would mold the objects going through the production line, and then you have, the fire wheels and whatnot. I messed around a bit with like trying to use the fire breathing statues from the fire breathing Bowser statue from BC64 that could turn on and off, but the collision there wasn't working quite as I expected. So that's one thing that was dropped. But overall, but dropping things is also one thing that I kind of wanted to avoid doing. The idea, I had a general philosophy that was just like, let's make this track have crazy standout gameplay. If I don't cut ideas, then the track will be able to accomplish what I might not be able to in, say, visuals. Like, Tars is joking 2 normal turns, but that's something I've said. Like, I ended up with basically, like, the first turn of the track and maybe the turn before the melting igloos, which is, by the way, Tars's idea. So not to say I came up with everything about the layout. I just wanted like a more open space that would maybe be a village, and they filled in, there can be igloos, and then maybe the ramps inside. That was also Tars's idea. So credit to that.
No,
but
definitely.
It just ended up being a really crazy track. And that's exactly what I was aiming for. I'm not sure if I'd ever do the same thing again. Not to say that Fire Factory's approach, I think, isn't something I'm satisfied with, but it's just like different from what I want to do in the future. There's also like, I was thinking for a while of the idea to have melting ice or volcano pieces used in a slightly different way to expose a ramp underneath that could then be used to take a shortcut. And I'm glad I got a chance to implement that. That's still popular to this day.
Yeah, I definitely agree with
pretty
you.
well-liked feature there, I think, though it's a really tough shortcut. One thing is that, like, also having the really tough shortcuts in the long term, I think, at least by the time the track got into CDGP, I probably should have made some of them more easy to discover. But it adds a lot of it adds a lot of feeling that I'm missing something when you play this track. There's just so much to the track, no matter how many times you drive through it, which is a really impressive feeling to capitalize on in a limited time contest like a jam. So, and I was very happy to see some people having such reactions. Of course, more was implemented later on, like the fan cut. I really like those. There's also like a bouncy mushroom cut like that in Crazy 8 Circuit and Toadstool Dynasty. But yeah, and besides that, the other thing I want to say about gameplay is it can be tough in a limited time to justify experimenting with gameplay sometimes, but definitely things like the oil slide, I implemented an oil slide and then I played it in game, was like, okay, maybe these things should be changed about it and it would flow a bit better. And it just took that level of iteration of like knowing what felt good with the vehicle in the game. And I changed it several times before I was happy with it, and then I could move on to other parts of the track. So
yeah, that's awesome. I definitely agree with you that like gameplay can like only like benefit a track's theme if done correctly. With the fact that you said about the warehouse, like the open gameplay, and then like in the pipe section, it's more narrow, right? It just makes like the whole theme and like story of the track like elevated to that extent. So yeah, thank you so much for speaking.
yeah, thanks for having me once again.
No problem.
All right, and it looks like Miss Dora also would like to speak.
All right, welcome, Miss Dora.
Hello. Well, I haven't specifically played the tracks that were showcased here, like Fire Fading Frost. I do want to talk about gameplay Mario Kart Wii because it really makes the game what it is, kinda. It's one of the things that made it stay popular, for aside from modding, of course. And even if a track isn't particularly good looking, I mean, Fiery Fading Frost is very good looking, of course, but it's still gameplay is always my favorite part. I think it's fun to see good looking tracks, but when you actually have shortcuts and cool gimmicks, it really just makes me want to play a track multiple times. And
I agree.
What?
No, I was just gonna say I think it's like visuals are what like draws you to a course, and then the gameplay is what makes you just play it over and over again.
Yeah, I agree. And in custom track jams, I've seen a lot of cool, unique shortcuts and strategies, gameplay gimmicks, especially with the falling rock stuff. That I've seen cool shortcuts.
Yeah, what Courtney and Tarsa did with the falling rocks was really creative.
And yeah, it makes some otherwise forgettable tracks very memorable. I can't think of any tracks right now, but that's just being bad at remembering tracks.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah. There is wait. I Okay, yeah, I really hope people just keep on coming up with cool new gameplay variations and implementing them into a theme because, yeah, it just makes tracks really unique.
Yeah,
Fun.
100%. Definitely. I
Right.
think, especially in Fiery Factory Fading Frost, like all the objects, we didn't talk about this much, but well, Connie kind of did, but the objects also really enhance like the gameplay of a track, especially if it's done in such a professional way where it feels like on par with what Nintendo did. I don't know, I just find it so interesting personally, and I know a lot of other people do as well. So yeah, thank you so much for speaking, Miss Dora.
All right, thanks.
No problem.
Leave the stage.
All right.
All right. Is that everyone?
That appears to be everyone.
All right. So next, we're going to the next award. As you can see, the Toads are now inside a pasta factory, which happens to be making some pasta by Tarsa, which was the winner of the pasta jam. Who knew we would have a whole jam with a theme around pasta? That's pretty funny, right? Well, funniness in CT jams can be taken to the extreme, as you will see by our next award, which is the best joke track of 2023. So, we'll start with the honorable mentions, like always. Coming in at number 3 is Star Slop by Cottney for the Pasta Jam. This track, the amount of pathways in here is it's just so, and like the fact that it's a mockery of one of like the most like controversial courses in CTGP. Except I think it was just removed, wasn't it?
I believe it was.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, what was one of the most controversial tracks in CTGP? It was turned into pasta, which it's just so random that you can't help but laugh at it. And just the comically large amount of pathways, it definitely deserves to be number 3. However, coming in at number 2, this is not the actual track, because for some reason it wasn't working in game, but I found a gif of it. You already know what it is if you know the track. It's Bad Apple by Tarsa. And this track isn't even really a joke track in a sense, but it's actually just like, I mean, it kind of is because it's like a common meme. But the fact, like the amount of technical work that was put into this by Tarsa, like I would never imagine watching like an animation on a screen in Mario Kart. Never seen that before in my life. So I think how impressive this joke track actually was is definitely the reason it plays second. So yeah, great job Tarsa on this track. And it was created for the art jam, but it was really good. However, we can only have one winner, and the first place, the winner is Meatball Marinara Melee, which was by 5 people. I think G-Force worked on it. I think Carry On worked on it. The other 3, unfortunately, I forgot their names, but they were all like friends of G-Force and Carry On, I believe. And
list of people who worked on this track are Burge, Carry On, G-Force.
Burge.
I'm going to butcher this. Megumin Report and Musherin.
Yeah, the last 2 are, I believe, friends of, I think, Carry On or G-Force or Burge. So yeah, this track was made by 5 people for a duo jam, and it's actually the track that had the most amount of disqualifications of any CT Jam submission ever, which is partially the reason why it was so funny. Also, just how ridiculous this track looks. Like, no offense, with the Blender models, and it was just a moment in time, one of the funniest moments in CT Jam history, and I think it was well deserved for the best joke track of 2023. So if anyone wants to speak, feel free to join.
All right, I'm going to get Carry On in here because he requested.
Of course.
All right, Carry On, you have the floor.
I did not expect to win anything of an award today, but I will take partial credit for this one.
Of course, you deserve it.
So I think it is best that what I do in my time here is I explain every single disqualification this course has. So to start, the Umbreon eating the course that's stolen from a previous model of mine. So are the Among Us. The courses had 2 submissions from GeForce to the jam. The course didn't crash. We tried to get it to crash, but it couldn't, and then still work. We wanted it to be playable, but crash after a certain time, but we couldn't get that to work. Mushiran and Megumin Report those are 2 of my best friends IRL, and they are both not in the server. So that was another DQ. The pasta models that you see throughout the course, or at least towards the start, those are ripped straight from The Sims 4. And I believe there was one other DQ. Oh yes, the fact there was 5 of us in a solo jam. It was really amazing making that, and it started in the CT jam, like the CT jam team chat, where GeForce, Burge and I, we decided, we're gonna collaborate a little bit on making the most DQs possible, and it was made all the night before the jam was due, over the span of about 3 hours.
Yeah, that's such like a random but funny idea. You 100% deserve this, though.
Oh, there's so many accidental things, like how a lot of the textures are coal inside or coal outside, so you can just see through them, and the fact that the track goes outside the skybox, and the fact that Garfield's the wrong way, on the middle of the track. All those are accidental, but it just kind of adds to it.
It really does. I thought that was on purpose, actually.
No, it's a perfect train wreck.
It
and
is.
Prozikora actually did remake it, so you can check that out.
It's awesome. All right, thank you so much. Carry on.
It looks
Is that everyone?
Elemental would like to speak, and then Cottony after that. So.
All right. All right. Welcome again, Elemental.
Hello again. So making joke tracks for Mario Kart Wii is and really joke custom levels in any game has always been fun and interesting to me. It's just sometimes you just let loose and want to shitpost, and this is a perfect way to do it. Just make
It really is.
Just make a really dumb track that it doesn't. It's not that good, but these tracks are often more memorable than serious tracks that just aren't that interesting visually, because they're really, they can be really funny, yeah. And also, and when streamers like Mayro play it, it can be really funny as well.
That's true.
I can't speak. Yeah, and you can tell I really like this kind of thing because I released 6 or something mods this April Fool's.
Oh yeah, no, April Fool's is definitely the best time for these joke tracks.
Yep.
Kind of when we all come together to make them. We definitely need an April Fool's jam someday. I think this award section would be sweeped if there's one.
Yeah, we've gone from a turbo jam based on Mastora's idea of a bunch of people remaking SNES Rainbow Road for April Fools to a turbo jam where only one submission actually qualified to
Yeah, it's true. No, that's great. I definitely think that joke tracks can be some of the most memorable, especially Meatball Marinara Melee, because come on, the amount of disqualifications, just the results moments are always just a joy to see with joke tracks all the time. And I think that's what makes them so interesting. So yeah, thank you so much.
All right, it looks like Cottony wants to speak, and then GeForce after Cottony.
All right. Hey, Cottony.
Hello again. I just want to say with Meatball Marinara Melee, I think GeForce did such an incredible job presenting the track in the jam video. Some of these jam videos can go crazy, and especially GeForce tends to do a lot of cool things, but the people hadn't really realized how rule-breaking this track was prior to the event, so there was, I want to capture the moment, a slow burn of people in chat discussing, there hasn't been Meatball Marinara Melee yet, when's that showing up? Did it, get top 10? Did it win?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Qualifications at the end, and then with, the epic classical music, or Fortuna, with the slow dropping of every single reason the track was disqualified, hitting you individually like a truck. that was such a classic experience, and it really sold just how utterly demonic and otherworldly the track was.
It
And
is.
similarly,
That's a good
GeForce
word,
also-
demonic.
GeForce also did a really nice job presenting my joke track for this jam. This
true.
jam got quite a few really funny tracks like that, and Star Slop. Yeah, when I thought of Pasta Jam, part of my mind did jump over to the existing known spaghetti section in the custom track in Star Slope, and I was like, it's the perfect opportunity. I can never. One part of my thought process there, I can never make this joke again. This is my. I will never have this chance again to submit a Star Slope spaghetti section parody tribute, I should say, to the Pasta Jam, and so I had to do it. And I did actually make a BTS post in the server, so I'm not going to speak too much, but there's a lot of funny nonsense I ran into during its development. Like, I wanted to exactly match just how unfair feeling the spaghetti section in Torn Star Slope was, and on my first attempt it didn't quite work out. It didn't feel bad enough, so I went back, I took Star Slope's model, and I tried to trace like a Bezier spline over the spaghetti section, and I ended up coming out with like what I think is extremely close to the spline he made, and it was like what's the word? Enlightening, because every point on the spline was at like the same verticality, but they all had the same weird rotation,
weird
the
geometry
same weird
and-
verticality to the spline's guidelines. I don't know what they're called themselves, and it was just like, wow, that makes sense. And so I imitated that. I didn't imitate the part where the splines were copy pasted. Each of the three paths were separate, and then also trying to like match the materials from Star Slope was an ordeal in and of itself. And then I tried to make some really deep cut references that no one but me would get for some of the other jokes, like the "this is fine" thing. That was also really impressive. People do mess with projection maps, but no one has ever. But people don't often do like that one. So that was really impressive, and I'm also glad GeForce emphasized that that's how it appeared on a real console without any video editing. But yeah, it turned out to be a slightly higher effort joke than I was expecting it to be.
Oh yeah, it's a great joke track. Like the fact that you were able to recreate so well. Like I remember playing it the first time. I even remember some people giving it like 7s and 8s. So I guess they really liked how you recreated it.
I saw the video chat that like GeForce said, "I'm gonna have to speak with the 2 people that gave this track an 8," and that was very funny to me.
Yeah. Well, clearly it paid off all your hard work on a joke track because, look, it was an honorable mention, and it probably would have like won it without the other 2. So yeah, it was really good. Thank you so much for speaking.
Thank you, and thanks for having me once again.
No problem.
All right, and GeForce would like to speak.
All right, welcome GeForce, another creator.
Hello. I was originally going to talk about like what I did with the video in the reveal for this track, but Courtney already talked about that, so I don't need to. Instead, I'll talk about my experience hosting the Pasta Jam. Memorable experiences for me in CT Jams. It was really cool to see people take the theme and actually make some really cool tracks with it. It was fun to I'll say conspire with Carry On and Verge with this with Meatball Marinara Melee.
100%. It seemed like a great collaborative like effort between you 3 and Carry On's friends maybe too. I don't know if they were just added or they also worked on it. I'm not sure about that, but yeah.
I don't remember what Carry On's friends contributed to the track. I know that I personally didn't actually contribute anything. I was just there for more for moral support and to take an authorship credit. But oh yeah, the Pasta and Garfield heads were Carry On's friends. But yeah, it's stuff like that that makes me really grateful to be a part of this community.
Oh, 100%. I think no, that's the great thing about hosting
Can I
jams.
cut it
It's just
out?
a joy to see what people like create. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for speaking, G-Force.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Thank you, G-Force, for coming on.
All right, is that it? That's it,
That
right?
appears to
I
be
think
it.
it will have to be it no matter what because we do only have 3 awards left. So, let's see. Ooh, where are they now? The toes are in Musée Champignon by Mickey Man, a museum with a bunch of famous and rather hilarious pieces of artwork. You might as well call a museum iconic because it features a lot of iconic masterpieces, which leads us to our next award, which is the most iconic jam track of 2023. For the honorable mentions, we're starting with number 3, which is Full Moon Facility by Atmosphere, which is exactly an amazing jam track that definitely was the face of the Moon Jam and one of the faces of the 2023 year, as voted by you guys. Coming in second is Sandy Clock Tower by Shorky for the Remake 3.0 Jam, which I hosted, and yeah, this track definitely upon submission I was blown away by it, and it definitely became a staple of the 2023 year. However, we can only have one winner, and this is, for the 3rd time tonight, Fiery Factory Fading Frost by Cottony and Tarsa. Congratulations once again. If anyone wants to speak, feel free. We do probably have to move on a bit more, but so we probably only have to allow like 1 or 2 speakers for the next 2 awards, if that's all right. But yeah, if anyone wants to speak, feel free to.
All right, looks like
All
Tarsa
right.
wants to come on up. So
Of course. Welcome, Tarsa.
Hello. I just want to say real quickly, and I know this about the gameplay, but I was at Pothole too, and for that I did like comparison gameplay of like the original track and the new track, and just to see, first of all, the gameplay did not change that much. Like the gameplay was solid from the get go. I'm used to like changing half of my jam tracks before release, and this one was not changed. Did not have its layout changed like crazy. But also, well, that's the main thing. But also, yeah, shout outs to Full Moon Facility as well. That was
thank you.
highest scoring jam track at the time. Very impressive on your part, Atmosphere. And actually, yeah, I'll keep it quick. That's it. Thank you. Bye.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, I do want to just say about Full Moon Facility, that was a really fun track to make. And at the time, I think it was my first solo jam winning track. I was really happy with it. Yeah, a lot of people liked it a lot. It was really cool to see the reception it got. I still need to update it though, so hopefully
Yeah,
that
it's
will
great
come
to
in
see it as one of the staples. 100%.
If anybody else would like to come up here and speak, otherwise we probably will be moving on in a minute.
Yeah. I guess we'll be moving on, right?
Yep, looks like no one else is.
All right. So, next up, where are they now? Ooh, they're in Los Polos Hermanos, which was the 2nd place track of the Crystal Jam. It's a very creative chorus, but why wouldn't it place first? Well, there's always a track that did get higher votes when a track places second, which means, yeah, it wasn't a winner, unfortunately, despite its creativity. But that leads us to our next award, which is the best non-winning track of 2023.
I think I know what's gonna win this award.
Well, hey, you never know until it's revealed. But first we do have to start with the honorable mentions. So coming in at number 3 is actually by the 2 hosts. Ironically, Unrecalled Universe by Atmosphere and me.
This was a very fun track to make. I'm sure you can
It
also
was.
speak for that it was just having it all come together was super fun, and I designed one of the sections. It's not in the picture right here, but yeah, it was a super cool track to make.
Yeah, it was. It was really fun. Thank you to everyone who voted for this. I mean, it's just an honor. I'm sure both of us feel that way. And it was a really fun track to make. All the different sections, I think, came together pretty well, or very well. And yeah, thank you so much. All right, coming in at number 2 is Paradise Precipice by Burge for the Remake 3.0 Jam. This course was snubbed by Sandy Clock Tower. Is snubbed the right word? Yeah, by Sandy Clock Tower by Shorkey, which is an amazing track. But this one is definitely a great second place, like one of the best second places I think we've seen. Burge did an amazing job with the visuals. The gameplay was creative, and the way he elevated such like a old classic, but definitely like old fashioned and like not up to date custom track, which was from I think 2010, and made it into like a modern kind of masterpiece is just brilliant. I mean, Burge did a great job with this and definitely deserved the honorable mention. So yeah. But however, there is a winner, and I think this is the third time tonight. The winner is Fiery Factory Fading Frost by Courtney and Tarsa. Third win of the night. Congratulations. If anyone wants to speak on non-winning tracks, maybe someone who like has never really won before, but like could share their own experiences,
Well, looks like
or someone who has.
looks like Courtney's coming up here.
All right. Welcome again, Courtney.
I'll be more brief this time. I do just want to call attention for a brief moment that the screenshot we are looking at of Fairy Factory Fading Frost is not, in fact, the Jam version. It is after updates. Primarily, we have a light map here, which I do want to say. This category is about emphasizing that like this didn't quite win, but it was it got second in a really stacked Jam, and that's how it came here. But I also want to say our light map here and whatnot, it really does pave over what I do want to acknowledge as a big fault. It's why I wasn't surprised to see this track not get first or anything. In fact, I thought this track was going to get third, and Teresa thought the same. But which was the visuals weren't really like up to snuff compared to some of the other tracks. Like there was no light map, and especially on my end, just that I'm not the greatest at texturing work. So
Oh yeah, it definitely paid off with all the updates, especially. But even the original track was just amazing. It was a very close top 2, I think.
yeah,
Like,
I was very glad to see the response to it. It was a lot
oh yeah, definitely.
more rewarding and positive than I kind of expected. Although I can be a little hard on my own work because again, you see all the faults, so maybe that's what I'm doing here.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, we don't. So we all love this track like so much. So yeah, thank you so much, Courtney, once again.
Thank you.
All right, Kozakura would like to speak too.
All right. Welcome again, Kozakura.
Hello. All right, so I'm going to keep it brief because for this one, I wanted to shout out some tracks that didn't win that I think deserve more attention. I'm just going to shout out like 3 or 4, but
okay,
maybe less.
Sounds good.
But yeah, first one I wanted to shout out is RMX Nightmare by GeForce and Slime Server. Like that one is really impressive, and it makes great use of the theme.
Oh yeah, definitely. That one was a
It's like
candidate.
one of
I
the
think.
most creative takes I've seen on like the whole Nightmare thing, because like because Nightmare is like one of the oldest and most recognizable custom tracks, and like
yeah,
seeing
definitely.
them turn it into like a track that's like very fun and dynamic gameplay wise is really cool. And
Yep,
then
I
second
completely
track
agree.
I wanted sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was just agreeing.
All right. Second track I wanted to shout out is from the Nightmare for the Nightmare Jam. Second one I wanted to shout out is from the Pipes Jam, and that is Piranha Tropica by D Turnip. That track is like one of has some of the coolest visuals in like that entire jam, in my opinion. It's like
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely.
Turnip is a very underrated CT creator in general, and I think his work on that track just really shines. Like that track alone just really shows you like what he's capable of as a CT creator, and I really like the theming behind it as well.
I completely agree. No, D Turnip is really talented. Yeah, that track definitely reminds me of Riverside Park from Mario Kart Tour, which is really impressive to create such a similar art style in only 4 days. So yeah, I completely
Yeah.
agree with that shout out.
And the last track I wanted to shout out for this is Jungle Fortress by Couch and Tosh, which was for the remake jam that you hosted.
Yeah, that plays fourth. I think.
That one got fourth, but it is still like one of the coolest takes, like one of the coolest ways to remake a track I've ever seen. Like it has an incredible art style that like you really don't see on a lot of tracks.
Yep, I completely agree. I love the fortress section. It was such a creative way to kind of
like
change up
taking
the
a
gameplay.
track like like taking a track like Jungle Cliff and turning like the jungle section into like a fortress is something I wouldn't have thought of, but it really works. And I think Chowchintosh as a creator in general, like he has been able to pull off some things that I didn't even know were possible.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like he has easily come a long way since his first track, which I believe was literally just a track in the shape of the Among Us crewmate.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh wow, that was so long ago.
Yeah, it was like yeah, he's really come a long way, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
All right. Well, thank you so much for speaking again. Okay, well, is that everyone?
That was everybody.
Okay, well, are you guys ready for the biggest war of the night and the final one? Because this is all we have left, so let's just get into it. All right. It's here, the best jam track of 2023. You guys submitted probably over 30 different tracks, and then we had to narrow it down to 7 in the second poll, and now I can finally share the rankings with you. So, why not? Well, let's just not try to build it up, and let's just get right into it. All right. So, coming in at number 7 with 9 points is Propeller Paradise by Mickey Man, which was the winner of the Floating Island CT Jam. I mean, we've already talked about this track, I believe, but Mickey Man just did an incredible job with the scenery, the gameplay, all the use of the objects. We'll be talking about each of the tracks like at the end of this segment, so if anyone wants to come on, just say it at the end of the segment. But yeah, this track is so amazing, and like all the other tracks, it definitely deserves this placement. Okay, coming in at number 6, the 6th best track of the year, with 16 points, is Phendrana Frostbite by ISC and I. Once again, thank you guys so much for voting for this track. It was a joy to work on, and I'm super happy about the final result. Taking 6th place is an honor, and I'm sure ISC will appreciate it a lot as well. So yeah, thank you very much. ISC and IISC, I love that. Okay. So coming in at number 5 with 17 points, only one more point than number 6, is Full Moon Facility by Atmosphere, which was the winner of the Moon Jam. If you want to say anything about Atmosphere, feel free to. You definitely have a lot more to say than me, so yeah.
Yeah, again, I am just pretty happy with this track and how it came out. I think a lot of the fun was making the environment, because I have, like, before I made this track, I hadn't gone all out like this on a modeled environment, and I think it really all came together. And I think I really like that style where the track isn't finished yet and still seems that they're doing stuff to it, like constructing it. Maybe it's just a way to get around having it be a little more bare bones basic than others, but I think having cranes and other types of construction scenery really just makes the track look cool, and the industrial setting is truly one of my favorites to recreate.
Oh, definitely. No, this track, the scenery and the world building in this one is just incredible. I completely agree with what you said.
Thank you.
So yeah. All right. Coming in at number 4 with, again, only one more point than the last one. For some reason, 6-3 were really close. But coming in at number 4 with 18 points is Antarctic Ambush by Mickey Man, the second Mickey Man track in the top 7. I already talked about this one, but once again, the creativity is amazing. The custom objects are just so professional looking. They feel like they're on par with Nintendo standards. And I also love the modeling inside the gingerbread house. It is just like a perfect track and a definitely like deserved winner. All right. Now we're in the top 3. Coming in at number 3 with 19 points is Sandy Clock Tower by Shorky, which was the winner of the Remake 3.0 Jam. Shorky just did absolutely incredible with this. We've already talked about it a lot, but yeah, it definitely deserved the win. The updates are incredible, and I'm so excited to see this in CTGP if you finish it by the 6-month deadline or whatever they're doing in CTGP. Great job, Shorky. It's just an amazing track. All right. Now, it's time for the final top 2, which were actually only 2 points apart. Coming in at number 2 with 26 points is Thunder City, The World That Never Was by Fuffina, which is me. Thank you guys once again. I don't know what else to really say about this. It definitely took a lot of effort. I did work I think I worked like 5 hours a day for those 4 days. It was maybe too much work. I don't know. But I feel like there's a good balance. And just remember, guys, it's important to balance your work on jam tracks with your like real life. It's always definitely something that you should focus on. But focusing more on the track, once again, I think like it's my favorite like visual like work that I've done, and probably my favorite track. But yeah, and I'm so glad that you guys like it. So thank you so much. However, there's one more track which you've seen a lot today. Coming in at number 1, the winner, the jam track of the year, with 28 points, is Fiery Factory Fading Frost by Cottony and Tarsa. 4th win, F4F got its 4th win. It's only fitting. Great job as always. If anyone wants to speak about any of these 7 tracks, feel free to.
All right, Blue Bat Star would like to speak.
All right. Welcome, Blue Bat Star.
Hello again. Thank you for having me back. I, of course, have not even gotten close to the level of these tracks that were shown today, but I just think it's a testament to how talented this community is, that even the 7th place track could have reasonably been at number 1 in, like, another year or something.
Oh, yeah,
because,
definitely.
like, it's just, like, and there's so many tracks that weren't even in the top 7 that could reasonably be in the top 7, and I just think it's amazing. I just think it's amazing that we have a community of just extremely talented people who can just make extremely impressive tracks. Like, every single one of the tracks in the top 7, and probably in the top 20, are just phenomenal in every way.
I completely agree with you. Yeah, thank you so much. I agree that CT Jams is definitely at its peak right now. Like, just the amount of quality submissions is so impressive that even at top 7 was so hard to narrow down, I'm sure, by everyone. So, yeah.
Yep. I do find it kind of funny that the winning track didn't even win its respective jam.
That's true. It is
to be
kind of
fair,
funny.
Ferenda Frostbite, however you say it, very valiant effort to lose against that, because that's another just incredible track.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sure IC also appreciates it too. Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone who like got on this list, and even everyone you did it, you've all done a fantastic job. Like, well done. Just thank you
agree.
for all of this.
I completely agree. No, everyone in this community is like so talented. So it's an honor to be a part of it, really.
Yep.
Thank you so much for speaking, Blue Bat Star.
No worries.
All right, looks like Cottony wants to speak too.
All right. Welcome back, Courtney. Was this the 4th time? No, shit. And you deserve it, though.
Yeah, second me yet. Or never mind. Hello once again. It's an honor to be here. A little crazy. The CT jams are crazy.
They are.
Like I think back in the day when they were just getting some of their first jams off the ground, it was kind of unimaginable that people could create such high quality, such defining, fully fledged tracks in spans of like 4 or 7 days.
Definitely.
And some of them are something I really like to see in custom track creation, which is just sort of like a celebration of what's come before, such incredibly novel concepts that are just thrilling to see. Like Thunder City, one of the best CT Jam tracks of this past year, was such an amazing tribute to a classic beloved track that got outdone and just like that got like such a beautifully celebration of it in just 4 days of work. I'm rambling a little, I'm sorry. But
I appreciate it a lot, thank you.
Then there's also like some tracks that didn't even make this top cut that are such standouts in similar ways, like RMX Nightmare. Like as a literal child, I saw Nightmare as a custom track on YouTube, the original release video of that author, and to see it reimagined in a modern sense with a similar aesthetic, like that was a really beautiful track to see. And then
Definitely.
Bioluminescent Labs being a crazy showcase of tech with a memorable story in its own right, and we didn't see that one at all. This
yeah, unfortunately. It's an amazing track,
Jammies,
though.
but that's a standout track, and yeah, have to hand it to Lucio in general with like the Jelly win, making 4 tracks solo and winning.
Yeah,
But-
and also that Jelly won, so Lucio's still got kind of like an award for himself, which is awesome because
And then
Lucio
I'm here,
definitely
which
deserves
is-
it.
Sorry, yeah, and then I'm here with the #1 track alongside Tarsa, which is very, it's weird in a lot of ways because I was around jams for like some of the earlier jams. I was hanging around the community, doing things like making packs and trying to make tracks, but never able to finish them. I like made a whole design for like the original Underwater jam, not the Underwater sequels jam, that I just wasn't able to find the time to finish. And then like I came back a year later to try to drop Crazy 8 Circuit just suddenly, randomly, like my first finished 3DS Max track. And with that one included, I've only made like 4 submissions to jams, which is kind of, like I've said, I need to participate more. I need to find that motivation because these things are really fun and really crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure we would all love to see it,
I've
though.
never even, among those 4 times, I've never even won any of them, and that even would include Fiery Factory. And again, it wasn't robbed. Fuffina, I could never, I still don't think I would be able to just beat your visuals, and Fendrana Frostbite was much more visually polished.
They were both like your track also, like the concept was just amazing.
It's a little odd to think maybe if I didn't like keep at it to spend effort on the light map and getting it polished up and ready with a lot of longevity for CGP, but also like it's a track that I tried to make a super memorable track in its own right with the crazy gameplay and also maybe some of the comedy that I think would make it iconic. I just want to call attention to a few things like Bowser Jr. says no to microplastics. That's a classic sign, but also like Tarsa DMing me mid-jam saying I made this sign and it's like I'm laughing way too hard at my own work. What is this shit? And it's, I mean, there it is. It's perfect. But it's a track where Bowser's dumping oil into the ocean en masse. The skybox is changing to literally the Grumble Volcano one, which is like a tropey, overused skybox that's shorthand for a hot, awful place. And I thought, and like that's funny. So there's all little bits of like just having fun all over the track like that. That
Definitely.
I think help as well with that. But yeah,
it really just
really
has
want to
everything.
win an actual jam at some point. It's
No, I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
maybe this season. hopefully this season. Punch me if I don't this season, or at least I mean I can't be entitled to a win at all. The standards are just way too high. It would be a fool of me to.
Well, not really. I mean, you
myself,
won the
there's so
best
much
track of the
competition.
year, so
I mean, you never know.
it's very possible. Definitely.
But you never know if against my best efforts, there could just be some upcoming creators that are, or some older creators, regardless, any creators that could be just doing what I did. Because even now with Gems, you've been seeing like a lot more crazy gameplay as well. That really makes Gems of the past couple of years memorable. That before that, Gems had a lot of shorter and more simple tracks, and like that's not a bad thing at all. I don't want to trash on that, but I'm more saying it's impressive how we've been able to progress CT development so much that we have
like
such impressive
tracks of this quality.
It's like
it's just insane.
It's such an incredible motivator to get people more efficient and more practiced at tracks. It's just such a ridiculously good thing for the community. CT Gems. I absolutely love this community.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree. CT Jams are just kind of the reason I joined too, and stayed for the most part. So yeah, I will.
And one more thing I want to say. Tarsa might come on. Tarsa might speak up there on the stage right here about their track, and I want to nip it in the bud before they can say anything. They might undersell their work here, but really, they modeled so much more of the track and worked on so much more of it than they might give themselves credit for. The Fire Factory is not my own at all. Tarsa's participated in so many jams, and their work here was instrumental. Like the entire exterior section is mostly their modeling, for example, and again, like even several gameplay concepts and some gameplay modeling was done by them. So, like, I don't want to.
No, yeah, I believe it.
On my track because it's our track.
Yeah, I believe it.
And it's our win. It's our Jammies win.
Yeah, because I even like participated with Tarsa for Bowser Jr.'s Crafty Castle, and like their work was incredible too. Like
how did we not see Crafty this entire time?
Crafty was 2022. It was 2022. That's why.
Right. That
yeah. But yeah, no, Tarsa's work was incredible.
I'm going a little crazy.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, you won 4 awards. I'd be going crazy too. No, seriously, congratulations. Yeah, thank you for coming up once again.
And thank you for running this and having me. And
no problem.
Everyone
anytime.
Here from Fuffina Atmosphere, Tarsa, just being on the CDGM team and organizing this whole community. It's such a good place. It's such a good thing. It's such a wonderful thing. I hope it keeps on for years to come because it's only growing anyway. Like dying game. This doesn't look like a dying game to me.
Exactly. I agree. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much once again. I mean, your work on this was incredible, and you just I really hope you make more CTs in the future because you might win the 2024 Jammies if you do.
That's a tall order. But we'll see.
Yeah, but thank you so much.
Thanks for having me for I would assume the last time and
no problem. Anytime. All right. So
I think
I do.
Domino would like to speak again.
Oh well, I unfortunately I have to go.
Right.
If we'll still continue a discussion, I'm sure. So if you're just able to invite people up, and I'm sure you all were able to discuss about it, if that could work too, that would be great. But yeah, it was a pleasure to host this. I hope you all enjoyed. And thank you very much. I'll keep this up, but I'll be muted. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Hello, Elemental. If there's anything you would like to say while we are still live, go ahead.
So I wanted to talk about Turbo Jams earlier, but I think what I had to say could be expanded to the scope of CT Jams in general. Like, CT Jams have been around for over 4 years at this point, and I think it's safe to say that they massively changed the community forever. there for the first like 10 years of this community existing, there were no CT competitions. People just made CTs because they felt like it, and oh, and it was, and I think they were much fewer CTs coming out overall, and CT Jams changed that. Since their inception, we've learned to make tracks much faster than we used to. I feel like back in the day, like most tracks could take over like months to develop. While of course nowadays we have tracks made in like 4 to 7 days that are, some may say, better than Nintendo's offerings.
Yeah, it is great how much people have just perfected the craft of making these tracks in just a matter of days, and it's really awesome to see how many people can still do this and how it's been going on for just about 4 years. We're coming up on 4 years now, or I think we might have already surpassed 4 years of CT Jams. So, yeah, it's great to see. I totally agree.
And as for Turbo Jams, I mean, the whole speed thing, not only have we made, of course, CT Jams, we learned how to make tracks in a matter of days, and then Turbo Jams came along, and now we can make them in a matter of hours. And not all of them are low quality either, because, like, Colorful Cathedral exists.
That is another thing that me and Fuffina made, and yeah, we're super proud of that one. Got a perfect 5 out of 5 in the Turbo Jam, and yeah, we couldn't be more happy with how that one turned out.
Is that the only time that ever happened?
I don't believe so. I think there have been a couple other 5 out of 5s, but I do know that Colorful Cathedral did achieve the perfect 5 out of 5.
Oh yeah, Swamp Prison?
Oh yeah, that was a Coffee Toffee track, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Coffee Toffee is kind of a beast at Turbo Jams.
Yeah.
I think she's had the most Turbo Jam wins out of everyone.
I mean, yeah, she kind of took the baton from Rizero when it comes to that. Like early on, out of the first 4 Turbo Jams, Rizero won all but one of them.
Yeah, Re:Zero seems to have dominated the first few, like you said, and I think it's funny how you can take something so little as a Turbo Jam and just like grind on it because you have a few hours to spare and you're just like a god at modeling really fast. It's cool to see. It's really awesome. So yeah, if there's anything you want to say or anybody else who would like to join and speak while we are still live, I will be ending the stream in a few minutes. So any last minute speeches by anybody are good to go. Would anybody like to come up and say anything? All right, well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and thank you to everybody who has come to the stage and spoke or even just watched. And of course, thank you very, very much to Fuffina for putting on this awesome slideshow. It really was perfect and super well done. I don't think anyone else could have done it better. So this was very fun. I am glad that we finally have gotten to do the Jammies, which is an idea that has been passed around for a long time.
I think it was originally going to be Seriesly, actually.
Yeah, I do think it might have been originally planned to be that way, but recapping the best tracks of the year was a very great idea, and I am glad that we get to do it. Well, thank you to everybody for watching. I am ending the live stream now. This has been Atmosphere and Fuffina and everybody else signing off.